Hello, this is Ryan from Let's Roleplay. This is my Q&A video for January 16th, 2021. It's a little bit strange saying 2021. I got really used to 2020. Okay, so let's get off to the questions. You can see here from Buckle Backwoods, Buck. Hello, Ryan. Thank you for doing another Q&A. It's me, Buck. Come to really enjoy your channel updates, and Q&As. Would you ever consider a 100% in-character re-roleplay of Dragon Age Origins? What would you consider your strongest attribute? That's 2. 3. What are your top 3 favorite movies in order? I had to think about that one. It's coming up. Number 4. Can we expect a Let's Roleplay Fallout 4 prior to 2022? Okay, let's get to it then. Where am I on my list? Oh yeah, I see Buckle Backwoods. Number 1, would you ever consider 100% in-character re-roleplay of Dragon Age Origins? Only if I had no other RPG to do. And I wanted to try something different, like a different kind of character in the game. I actually just got through watching my own Dragon Age Origins Let's Play of the base game. And I really don't feel like playing that game again. I actually I exercised on my bike to it. My standing bike, and that's probably not what it's called, but whatever. My bike that doesn't move, it doesn't have real wheels. So I watch my videos, it makes it a little bit easier for me to do that. And I don't really feel like playing it again because it's a great game, though. Don't get me wrong, it's probably in my top 5 RPGs. I think it is. I've probably had about 10 playthroughs since it came out in 2009, and probably about 3 to 4 completions of that, and I'm a little tired of it. Same with Baldur's Gate, the first game, not the second. I'm a little tired of that game since I played it so much as well. In fact, between 2016 and 2020, I played it through twice, got through most of it in one playthrough, and I finished it completely with another one. And I'm a little tired of Baldur's Gate 1. Just, yeah. The idea of going back to those 2 games, Dragon Age Origins, doesn't really sit too well with me. Just because I've just been there so many times, like watching something you've seen so many times, and you know what's coming. There's no surprises. There's nothing really there. I mean, I could role play it differently, and you'd have a different experience, yes. And maybe that's something I could do. But like I said, if I have no other RPG to do, then I wish I had all the time in the world to do this. I wish I was making decent money off this. I could really focus on doing this, on my decent money off my channel. But as it is, it's more like a part-time job that I do during the week. I take care of my kids at home, and just to add more to that, personally, and I've never said this before, my kids are both special needs. So, yeah, I mean, they're not bad. They're not chronic. I mean, my younger son is better than my older son, but they're not that bad. In fact, a lot of people can't even tell that they have issues. But you know, it takes a lot. And with my spine injury, I have an injury to my lower right spine. It can be pretty bad. I can't do physical labor anymore. I used to be a painter and drywaller. Well, that's not something I want to do all my life, but that's what I was doing before I was injured. And yeah, taking care of my kids and my health. I have gone through a lot of hell with neurological issues. I still occasionally do, with headaches, migraines, and nausea. The nausea being the worst. So between my spine, my neurological problems, and my kids, that itself is quite the job. Quite the job. And my wife works full-time. She's a nurse. We are not exactly doing great financially. Really doesn't help where we live. The prices of homes are insane, like some of the most expensive in the world. I'm jealous. Her niece is married to, I think I've said this, said this before. He's in the Air Force, and he moves about every 3 years. He has some nice homes that dwarf we have not a condo, a townhome. Dwarf the size of our townhome, and the price is about a third of our frickin' townhome. I live in Vancouver, and everything's extremely expensive here. Just stupid expensive. It doesn't help that a lot of Chinese money to buy up everything comes over here, as a lot of people that live here part-time from China, And the government has kind of been cracking down on that because a lot of empty homes for a lot of the year, and it just drives up the prices of houses. Like it's just crazy. I mean, this place, there's actually an assessment coming out next month for this place, and it's about 900,000 Canadian dollars, which probably is about 700,000 American. Well, my niece's place was about 300,000 with the yard and the home down in Texas, San Antonio. Just crazy. Their place is much larger than ours. Oh, I can't even get into it. The prices of homes here are ridiculous. It's not even worth living here, actually, if you ask me. I would move if my wife... I mean, we could, if my wife was really determined. But she's got her family here. My family lives 4 hours away in the Okanagan, if you know where that is. Or where Ogopogo comes from, the lake monster. Not that I really believe that, but anyway. So, let's get off to number 2. What would you consider your strongest attribute? My creativity, I believe. I'm always trying to create things. Even when I wasn't making videos, 2016 to 2020, I was making mods for my favorite strategy game, Hearts of Iron 4. I've got 9 music mods, that over 3,000 songs for all the nations you can play. And I enjoyed it, but that was a lot of work. Holy crap. To get it all working right. It really was a lot of work. I'm always doing something, no matter what. I always have to come up with something that I'm creating. I can't just do nothing. So when I was young, I actually wanted to be an artist, but back then, it was different than today. With drawings and paintings, I'm talking about, it was the early 80s, so there was no big graphic artist trade at the time. Games looked like crap back then. Some of them just had dots for things. If I was my son's age, who is 9 nowadays, I would probably want to become a graphics artist. And that's something that he's actually interested in himself. So hopefully, I'll definitely be supportive of him, whatever he wants to do. But I hope he gets into something like that. All right, number 3. What are your top 3 favorite movies in order? I had to really think of this one. Star Wars, specifically The Empire Strikes Back, is probably my top video. Then number 2 would be Captain America, Winter Soldier. And a lot of that was about the freedom stuff that they were talking about there. That kind of moved me. But the rest of the movie, I thought it was really well done. Then I really had to think about this one. I'm guessing Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. We just watched that between Christmas and New Year's. Yeah, we watched... My older son hadn't seen the Lord of the Rings movies, so we showed that to him. He watched all through it, and he really likes them. So yeah, I like fantasy and sci-fi, as you can see. As for non-fantasy movies, that would have me thinking. I like historical films. That's the thing with me. I like fantasy and left-brain things like history and strategy as well. So as long as they're well done and have a bit of emotion, I'll push to them. I like them. So of both genres, those are my 2 things. But if I had to do it, I mean, well done fantasy type movies are my absolute top favorites. Number 4, can we expect a Let's Roleplay of Fallout 4 prior to 2022? I believe so. Yes, as soon as Pillars of Eternity 2 is done. I expect it to be finished around the middle-ish of this year, maybe up to September, is my guess. I haven't played Pillars of Eternity 2 before. What you see is what I played through on my channel. I plan to do everything in it that I can in Pillars of Eternity 2, which, unlike the first one, I finished it before realizing I was actually at the end. I thought I could finish the main story and then do the 2 DLCs that came with it, but nope. Once the main story was done, the game was done. So far, for Pillars of Eternity 2, I've completed 58 videos, and I'm not sure where I am. I'm guessing between 30 and 40% through it. That's my guess. I could be way off. I could be 50, 60% done. I could be 20% done. So it's just a guess. It could be a lot longer or shorter, but I'm confident that Fallout 4 will be this year. But I cannot say that is 100% guaranteed. Cannot do that. For all I know, it could very well take me into 2022. So I'm just warning you. All right, so let's go to the next set of questions. All right, Ralph Stormcloak. That's a pretty cool role-playing name. So, well, he didn't number them, but how many subscribers would you realistically like to gain in 2021? That's number 1. Number 2 is Skyrim on the agenda this year? Number 3, what video games do you enjoy playing with your family? I didn't actually write these down numerically either, but anyways. How many subscribers would you realistically like to gain in 2021? Realistically, probably 3,000, up to 3,000. It's not impossible, but with the way it's going, I won't get 3,000 till probably the year 2050. I am sitting at 2,220 approximately right now. Unrealistically, millions of subscribers. Which, actually, that's not really unrealistic. If YouTube could, if it helped me and starts putting my videos on the front of the YouTube main page, then I could actually get millions of subs. Number 2, is Skyrim on the agenda this year? Sorry, I wish it was. But I am gearing up for Oblivion right now, and I made a short list of mods about a month or so back, and I plan to greatly expand on that. Yeah, so this is the modding page here, Nexus mods I go to for everything. Yeah, so I mean, I'd make a list. I've had it on my computer. And you should see all the mods I have for just Morrowind. It's a heck of a lot, probably a couple hundred. But I have things like, so I'm going to be getting Wirebash. I've got something, what's it called for Morrowind? It's called Rybash or something? Rymash. It works. Tells you how the mods, if they're working together and what you need to do. So I guess I'll be getting Rybash as well to help out with that. And this one actually I'm really interested in. Like, probably one of the top mods that I'm interested in is Oblivion character Overhaul, because everybody knows how ridiculous people look like in Oblivion. And look at this. I mean, these are not bad-looking people. They're not great. They're not fantastic, but like that's a very average-looking person. Like, it's great compared to the original game. The original game is terrible. And look, you got some, like, handsome-looking dudes you can actually make in the game. With this... I guess this is a face mod. So I'm really interested in this. Don't know if it, it's just Dremora. Yeah, Dremora is a huge part of the game. I still remember their voice. I don't know what kind of filter they put it through to make those voices. That's a golden saint. Doesn't look like a golden saint. Skin's not yellow enough. But yeah, these guys, these will probably be my main enemy that I'll be fighting in the Oblivion. I look forward to it. Like, these guys actually look pretty well. Well done, I should say. Ebony armor. But, yeah, so what was the other thing? Oh, here's the map. This is a really neat map. It's much more helpful than the map the game came with. And, I have the games. I played through the main game. Still have the game boxes, I should say. Oblivion. I think I got it in 2006. And... Shivering Isles, which I've never touched. Apparently it's some of the best story and most interesting gameplay in the Oblivion. Looking forward to that. And I should show you guys my mods for Morrowind, just to show you what I go through. So as you can see, I did this, I put them in folders. I was doing that for a while. That's all gone through. And these are all the mods I put into there. 208 items, it says, actually. Crazy. Rymash at the very bottom. So, approximately 200 mods. Okay, so I did see, I put a bunch of things in certain... So there's even more than 208 mods. You can do things like that with things like Wirebash or Rymash, and it helps make sure it all works together. Plus, you have to go and read everything too, that mods don't conflict with each other, first of all. It took me a good week to get, and I didn't even have probably half of these mods when I first went through it. There's some kind of, for some games, I know that it was for Morrowind, like a set of mod... I want to say direction, but it's not. It's like a list of mods that work well together to get you to have a good experience in the game, whatever they call it. The player had made mods, so I did that, and that's probably maybe 80 mods out of here. And then I just slowly, as the game was playing, I added more. I keep searching and add more. So I'll probably go through the same thing with... I couldn't get them to all work at first. There was something like graphically, the mushrooms in Morrowind, the little mushrooms, not the big ones, that are all over the grass, didn't work. It showed up black, and other textures were just awful. So I had to retry doing it several times. I actually contacted the mod author and told him to please list it in baby steps for idiots so I know what to do. And eventually I got it working right as it was intended. But yeah, modding, especially big graphical mods, putting together can be a bit of a experience in itself. So I don't know. It took me a week to do the original thing. This is before I started putting videos back in my channel. I don't know how long Oblivion would take me. I may put off making Oblivion videos after Morrowind for some days or a week, or maybe 2. We'll see. But it will come. It will come afterwards. Do it as fast as I can, and make sure it all works together right. I expect Skyrim to be what I'll be working on in the year 2022 at some point, probably near the end of the year, depending on how long Oblivion takes to get through. It may even be 2023. I hope not, but I'm just telling you, realistically, I can't say. I don't know how long Oblivion will take me to get through. I'm not going to be adding a lot of quests, no, just basically the basic quests. I don't add big dungeons because I don't want to keep going through tedious stuff in my videos. I just want to go through the story is what I'm mainly focused on. So, you asked what videos, this is I guess the third question. What video games do you enjoy playing with your family? So we have a Nintendo Switch upstairs. My son and I, my older son and I play, well, I should say my younger as well, play Super Mario Kart 6, and we have played Super Smash Brothers, but he destroys me in that game. It's the one game he's better at me at. He's played that, I remember when he started playing it. It was a game that actually sat for about a year. Then his tablet wasn't working, we had to take it in, so he's playing Nintendo a lot. He really got into the Switch at that time. Played Super Smash for like 2 weeks straight. And yeah, he played a lot of it during the day. Like we're talking, could be 8-10 hours of it during the day. Yeah, it's crazy. So he got so good at it, he pretty much destroys me whenever I play him. So we also, yeah, my younger son plays Super Mario Kart with us as well. He's not too good at it, but he's very interested whenever we put the Nintendo on. So we got Zelda on Christmas, Link's Awakening on Christmas Day. Actually, I finished that game. Bit of a break from making videos for my channel, but I was still putting them out for my channel. Between Christmas and New Year's, I actually finished that game. My boys would watch me, and my older son, he plays it, but it's a bit more difficult for him. There's 8 dungeons in the game, and he finished the first 2. I found it, personally, somewhat easy. He didn't really find it that easy. But then I'm 45. I've been playing video games for 40 years now. I've never finished a Zelda game before, and I thought it was a lot of fun. I mean, there's no real great story arc to it, but it was fun. There's a few things I had to look up, but for the most part, I mean, it's a super linear type game. You can only get from point A to point B by getting this one thing in this one specific place to advance the game, so it's kind of easy to get stuck here and there. I'm not really used to that, but I hear most Zelda games are like that. I don't know if all Japanese... I don't really play Japanese RPGs, not really. And I don't know if they're all like that or not, but that's all I have to say. I don't know. Also, I have an Xbox One. My older son and I play Lego Marvel games in it. We've completed the first Lego Marvel game, and then we're slowly playing through the second. Unfortunately, my wife doesn't play games, video games, with us at all. She just doesn't play at all. But I have my 2 boys to make up for it. All right, now off to the next person asking questions. Captain Red 1000, you have been a sub for me for years, even before my 2016 horrible experience in the hospital. You were there for probably since 2014, I think. Last I looked, it was 7 years he was there as a sub. Thank you, man. I don't know if anybody else has still been around for that long, but you've been there for a long time. Number 1, do you have people in your life that would be interested and able to roleplay with you? Number 2, would you be open to the possibility of let's role-playing with another person? Number 3, mage, rogue, or warrior. Which class archetype do you like the most? Number 4, to you, what is the most valuable quality a human could have? Number 5, How does your family feel about your channel? Okay, for some reason... Oh, there he is. Captain Red, number 1. Do you have people in your life that would be interested and able to let's roleplay with you? No one that I know. No. I could use my wife's voice for voiceovers, but that's just not really feasible with our time, because I tend to work during the day, and she's either wanting to relax and if she's off, and she's working. She does work a lot. The travel time is almost half the length of her shift, so it's crazy. Vancouver traffic is insane, and she's coming from North Vancouver, so all the way out here where we live, and it could take a while, hour and a half, 2 hours sometimes, depending how bad the traffic is. So I could use my boys to talk. My 6-year-old son has a real babyish voice still, but not really. Number 2, would you be open to the possibility of let's role playing with another person? Are you asking? Are you asking? If you're asking, then you have to pitch your idea to me. And this goes for anyone else that may be interested in this. And I don't mean how you could do it, how we could actually do it. I mean what game, in what kind of role-playing situation we could do this. And I don't know how it would work with anyone else besides me, truth be told. And because I do single-player games. But that doesn't mean somebody couldn't do it. But it would really slow me down. And especially if I'm not, I have irregular hours doing my videos. I can't just do them all every day. I do them when I can, usually during the middle of the day. And some days I don't, because I'm not doing too well, actually, at home. Most of my voice work comes from playing just the one character. After Morrowind and Baldur's Gate, most of the narration and other voices are fully done in the games. So they're fully voiced. Well, there is some narration for me to do in Pillars of Eternity 2 and in Neverwinter Nights, which hopefully will come after and not before Baldur's Gate 3. So Neverwinter Nights will have me reading some of the dialogue as well. It's partially voiced. I think the original game came out, 2002? From BioWare? More so, it's there's more voice. I have to voice more of the dialogue in Baldur's Gate, so right now I'm doing it, but I just can't really see anybody else doing that. It would just, first off, even if you had 100% of the time in the world to do it, which isn't really possible because you're just not a machine that can flip on. Yeah, I don't know. It's just not really possible if you ask me, but that's my point of view. So I'm not opposed to someone role-playing with me. I just can't really see... I can't think of anybody else that could do it with me and how it can be done. The only one thing I can think of is maybe if we were to do it in an MMO and another person, or not even an MMO, it could be just an online game where you can have a couple of people play at the same time. I can't really think of many games that you can do that have a decent story. I really like the Old Republic MMO before, what's it called? EverQuest. Project 1999 EverQuest. I was playing the Old Republic from like 2011, late 2011 to probably middle of 2013. That was the last one, and then I went and started my channel and started playing EverQuest. And that's the only possibility I can think of. But man, I might have to write out so much of our personal story and plan so much of what is ahead. However, I actually got really good with improvising, role-playing in the guilds that I was in. And like Warhammer Online really taught me how to go fully into, in the guild I was in, fully into role-playing. It was more interesting than playing the damn game, actually. Yeah, there's a lot of drama. There's so much stupid amount of drama. I can make a whole video. I could probably make a few videos on the drama that I went through in that. Oh my god, it was ridiculous. and it wasn't really from somebody just being a drama queen. No, it was just the stuff. Like the guild leader had encouraged infighting. It was a dark elf guild, so we were kind of evil. He encouraged the people under him to have like their own houses and fighting between them for influence and prestige and stuff like that. And I probably make so much go over so much in that. But anyways, after that, it was the Old Republic for me. And then I stopped. So that was my last real role-playing experience before my channel. And that's where a lot of my... that's what's pushing me to make things, because I just enjoyed it so much. You just totally lost in another world of your character. You're really in your character's head. So much so, like, yeah, I was almost like, no, I wasn't method acting. I don't see how you can do that. Wasn't method acting, but when I played, I was really in my character's head. And things that happened were permanent. There was no do-overs. So if your character's killed, I mean, you don't have to delete it, but you can't use that character in the guild anymore. And there's a lot of stuff that happened. A lot of romances. A lot of crazy romances as well. And yes, I was involved with some of those. And it was just rampant. There was some people that were sleeping, cybering. They really took it. They took it to the real extreme. And yeah, well, it wasn't a cyber guild, but there was some people, because I found out the hard way. Somebody sent me a mistel, and it was pretty graphic. And I'm like, what the hell is this? So, yeah. But number 3, let's get up to something else. Number 3, mage, rogue, or warrior. Which class archetype do you like the most? I would say warrior. Although I've had several mage types over the years that I really enjoyed. I like the idea of being a thief as well. So long as that thief isn't wimpy as heck. And that's what I'm used to. A thief just can't really... A thief just gets destroyed in combat. And I don't want that. You got to be good in combat either way. I've had some mage types. Like, I can go back 2008. No, I played World of Warcraft when it launched. Well, a few days after it launched. 4 days after it launched in November of 2004. Yeah, oh geez, that was before I met my wife. I was single, living on my own. Didn't really know too many people here in Vancouver because I'd moved down here from the Okanagan. That was a totally different time for me. But yeah, I think my first class was mage. But I liked warriors in that game. I think the rogue was a little weak. But, you know, with all the different DLCs, the expansions, things change. I had a lot of fun with my mage, like in PvP. Like they had, like the big battlegrounds where there's lots of people fighting against each other. I was a blood elf mage. At one point, I started out, my very first character was a human mage, but with the first expansion, I was a blood elf mage, and I went all the way to the end. And in my guild, we really liked raiding. We didn't have a big enough for one of the larger dungeons, but for the smaller ones was 10 people raids. And the regular dungeons. And on, was it hardcore mode? We did that quite a few, and I got a lot of items. So I got into it. I did go on a big dungeon raid once. 25 people. It was with like 3 guilds. And my guild had maybe 4 or 5 people in it. In that one. Once, and we bombed out really bad. Didn't get that far. So don't ask me what dungeon it was. I don't remember. I think it was part of the expansion in the first expansion. But my go-to, without thinking, is a warrior type. Oblivion, I'll be a mage. I have it planned out, class-wise, and what he will specialize in and focus on. So I'm kind of excited for that. So, number 4, to you, what is the most valuable quality a human could have? This is a good question. I like this, though I won't be spending too much time on it, because it's pretty cut and dry. Honesty and integrity, for me, is the most valuable quality in this day and age, because there's just so much crap out in the world. A lot of crap. And I don't just mean in politics, or I've dealt with a lot of that stuff in my own family as well. And if you can't trust someone once, for me, then I won't be able to trust you again. These are the most important traits I look for people around me, and things I am attempting to teach to my sons. I've dealt with this all my life, and my father was a great role model on who not to be. So that has greatly affected me. Number 5. How does your family feel about your channel? I wrote this myself, then I asked my wife afterwards, but this first paragraph is, I wrote supportive and hopeful. My boys are too young for the videos I make, but I am hoping that they will like them when they're older. Though, me being their dad, there might be a bit of a cringe element for them when it comes to the romance stuff. Because I know that's how I'd feel if I watched my dad do that. I asked my wife, and She said that she's proud and supportive of my accomplishments and that with my creativity, that I have a lot to offer. She is a little dismayed by my lack of growth for my channel, as am I. There are a few things that I can do. This is going off topic a bit. And I've gotten some tips from some of my viewers about what to do, and I will do them. I'll get to them eventually. I've had a lot of bad nights in the last few months, and it's difficult to keep up just with my videos on my channel for me. Yesterday, I really wanted to work on doing that. I've got a list to go through, but I couldn't because I had a couple bad nights this week, and I had to catch up. So bad nights where I barely slept. If I can't think, if I get a bad sleep night, I can't bring in that right brain creativity very well at all. And my left brain your whole brain is messed up. But my left brain, like, I may make mistakes and say the occasional dumb thing. Yeah, I don't really like to play when I'm super tired. I've done it. Some of my videos on my channel from the last year are from me not getting much sleep, and I've made mistakes. So, it took me it took my time from working on and getting more subs and views and watch time for my channel. This list I'll be going through and eventually getting to them. If you have any tips, anybody has any tips, feel free to put in your advice. I will read them, definitely. So, personally, I don't think I should have to, though. YouTube should be advertising my videos more. And there should be exponential growth. I don't know why there isn't. It's just, is it that my videos aren't very good? I personally don't think that that's the case, but then if that's not the case, then it would have to be the YouTube algorithm. I admit to some mistakes in my videos. The narration, my reading. I mean, I don't think it's the end of the world. I've been watching it. There's some things I wish I did do better, but I don't think it's that bad. Where you watch all my videos, like 100 videos, and like, oh crap, this has turned to garbage. I'm not watching this guy anymore. I can't see that happening. But there's been some mistakes I've actually made outside of doing that as well. I mean, there's a few videos. One where there was a delay of a couple seconds. I don't even know how that happened. I didn't even know that until the video was done. And I couldn't go back because I'd already saved it thinking that the video was done perfectly. So I just had to go with what was there. So there was a delay in the sound, I should say. So my voice would pick up a couple seconds afterwards. But I think my overall quality is good. I really do. Especially compared to my competition out there, which are all the other millions of Let's Plays, not Let's Roleplays. There's very few competition for Let's Roleplays. And I mean real Let's Roleplays. Also, I used to think that these videos up on YouTube, this is another going way off topic, even from what I was just talking about, that the videos on YouTube are forever, but not in the last few years. Too much censorship. Too many channels have been taken down. Eventually, since YouTube wants a big streaming service like Netflix, that's what they want to be, I can see many smaller gaming channels just being removed at some point. They were already talking about removing unviable channels that just won't make any money. And I hope I don't make that list someday, but you never know. Eventually, I think it will come. I don't have any plans to stop doing this. I may slow down at some point if I'm doing other things in my life. Like just put out one video a day or maybe a few a week, but I don't plan to stop. So, YouTube is pretty much the only place to go when it comes to my videos, 4K videos. There's another one I was using, I've talked about this before, as a European one. I put first 5 videos of my Baldur's Gate on there, but you can't use 4K videos, and it's got a limit of like 2 gigs per video or something, which just doesn't work for my Morrowind videos. I can't put them on there at all. Video Motion, that's the name of it, that platform. And I don't know, I mean, outside of YouTube, I don't think, can you put video games on BitChute and Minds? I don't know. There's other ones out there as well. But I think BitChute and Minds are the biggest after YouTube. And then there's, actually I shouldn't say that, I should say Video Motion is probably the biggest, but a lot of Europeans use that. But, I don't know. Eventually it may come. They may remove a lot of content on YouTube, so I don't know I can't trust my videos will be online forever. So, yeah, I mean, I think that's everything How does your family feel about your channel? That's the last question from Captain Red 1000. So I think that's everything, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this is all interesting. I think my speaking voice has actually changed, and thank you for those guys complaining about it, because I didn't think that I was doing that bad at first, but I went and watched it myself, and yeah, I could have improved a lot, but this improved speaking voice will carry on into all my future videos. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys again.